Every company has an onboarding process. Most of it exists in one HR coordinator's head, a checklist from a couple of years ago, or a Word doc that gets forwarded to every new hire and followed differently every single time. What happens when that coordinator is out, or leaves? New hires get different experiences depending on who runs the onboarding. Processes get skipped, benefits paperwork gets missed, and your most experienced HR person spends half their week answering the same questions over and over. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix that in under 20 seconds of documentation effort. Here's what HR documentation looks like for most teams today. You open a Word doc, you type out a step, you take a screenshot, you paste it in, you format it, you repeat that 30 times. An hour later, you have a guide that looks different from the last one, covers a slightly different version of the process, and will be out of date the moment your HRIS updates its UI. And because it takes so long to create, most of these guides never get made at all. The process stays in your head, and the cycle continues. SOPs are what ensure every new hire gets the same experience, whether it's your most experienced HR coordinator running the onboarding, or someone who just started last month. And the stakes here are real. A bad onboarding experience is one of the top drivers of early stage employee turnover. When processes get missed and new hires feel unsupported, they leave. And replacing an employee rarely costs less than 50% of their annual salary. That's what's sitting in your undocumented processes. The problem has never been that SOPs aren't valuable. The problem is that creating them manually is painful enough that most teams never actually do it. Well, that changes right now. Scribe is an AI platform that automatically creates step-by-step guides by capturing what you do on your screen, where you click, what you type, what you say, and instantly turning that into a formatted SOP with annotated screenshots. No writing, no screenshots, no formatting. You just do the process, and Scribe AI builds the guide. So let me show you. I'm working out our new hire onboarding tracker. You can see it's fully populated. Every new hire, their start dates, departments, managers, and the status across every onboarding milestone. IT setup, HR paperwork, benefits enrollment, equipment, systems access, training. I'm going to capture how to properly update a new hire's onboarding status as they move through their first week, a process our HR teams runs for every single new hire, and one that absolutely has to be done correctly for compliance. So I'll click Start Capture. And now I just go about the process exactly as I normally would. And that's the process. I'll click Complete Capture. Now look at this. Using AI, Scribe has automatically captured every single step, with screenshots showing exactly where to click and auto-written headers describing each action. And notice something else. Some of the employees' data in these screenshots was automatically redacted. Scribe detects and protects PII in real time before any guide gets published. For HR teams handling sensitive employee information, that's not optional. It's built in. We've just created that entire SOP in the time it takes to do the process. Under 20 seconds of documentation effort. That's the difference Scribe's AI documentation makes. Now I can customize this. I can click into any step and edit the text, add a tip, add an alert, or annotate screenshots to highlight exactly why it matters. I can also use voice transcription, narrate as you go, and Scribe transcribes your speech directly into the step headers. Richer documentation, zero extra effort. And if your HR processes live in desktop applications, your HRIS, payroll system, benefits platform, Scribe has a desktop app for Windows and Mac that captures those exactly the same way. Once the guide is ready, I can share it in a few ways. I can copy a shareable link, and anyone can view it without a Scribe account. I can embed it directly into Confluence, SharePoint, or your AI tools, using our API and MCP, so it lives where your HR team already works. Or export it as a doc or PDF or a static version. If you're an individual or a small HR team, this is all you need. Simply sign up for free using the link in the description, install the extension, and you're building SOPs in minutes. Now, here's what this looks like from the other side. from the new hire or any employee who needs to follow this process. With Scribe Sidekick, the moment your team member opens your HRIS or any tool your company uses, Scribe automatically surfaces every relevant guide your team has created right in the browser extension. No digging through SharePoint, no pinging the HR coordinator. The right guide shows up in the flow of work. From Sidekick, they can click Guide Me on any Scribe. Watch what happens. Scribe opens the actual application and overlays a click target directly on their screen, walking them through every step, exactly where to click, exactly what to fill in, without ever looking away from the tool they're already in. And with Scribe Pins, your HR team can pin specific guides directly to the fields and buttons where employees are most likely to need help. So instead of waiting until someone gets stuck, the documentation is already there when they need it. This is the difference between documentation that gets filed and forgotten and documentation that actually gets used. Sidekick, Guide Me, and Pins are available to every licensed user in your org, which brings me to how this works at scale. For teams deploying Scribe across HR or the entire organization, a few things matter beyond individual guides. First, auto-redaction is built in. Every guide published through Scribe automatically has PII, employee names, and sensitive data redacted before it goes anywhere. For HR teams with compliance requirements around employee data, this isn't something you configure. It's on by default. Second, access controls, role-based permissions, SSO via SAML, and SCIM provisioning are all included. Your IT team will ask, and the answer will be yes. Third, integrations. Scribe connects with Workday, Cornerstone, BambooHR, Confluence, SharePoint, and any tool your company uses, including your AI agents, using our API and MCP. Your SOPs live where your people work. Scribe works with almost half of the Fortune 500 and over 80,000 enterprises, including heavily regulated industries like financial services and healthcare. A large financial institution with 23,000 employees deployed Scribe and saw employees save an average of 35 hours per person per month. Time previously spent asking colleagues how to do things, relearning processes, or waiting for someone to walk them through it. For an HR team that spends a significant portion of its week fielding those same questions, that number is not abstract. The most common thing I hear from HR teams is, the way we do it today is fine. And I understand that. When it's mostly working, it feels fine. You have your checklist. You have the person who knows how to run the onboarding. Until that person is out for 2 weeks, or leaves. Or you scale from 200 employees to 1,000. Or compliance asks for documented processes that are actually current. The way you do it today is fine until it isn't. And at that point, you're building documentation from scratch while the gaps are already costing you. Scribe removes that risk, because building the SOP takes the same 20 seconds it takes to do the process. So, 2 paths from here. If you're an individual HR professional or small team, try Scribe for free right now. Capture your first SOP and see how fast this works. The link's in the description. If you're looking to deploy this across your HR org or your entire company, book a demo. We'll walk you through compliance, security, integrations, and build a rollout plan for your org. That link is also in the description. Either way, your first SOP takes 20 seconds with Scribe's AI documentation, and you'll wonder why you were ever doing it manually.